I'm now at the university workshops, and I started sanding the guitar. I put some masking tape over the neck pocket to make sure that I do not harm it, so when I need to put the neck back, it goes back in fine. I skipped the 80 and 180 sandpaper, and I jumped directly to 240 because I already broke up the polyurethane finish yesterday with the chisel, so that's fine. I'm doing finer sanding at this point, so 240 is the way to go, and I'll work my way up to finer grades. But yeah, for now it's obvious sand job. I'm trying to make circular motions so that it don't end up with straight lines, which apparently are really easy to spot from further away. Now once again I'm doing this on a real Fender Jim Root model because I wanted to have a Relic Telecaster, and I don't want to have a really bad quality one like Johnson or whatever there's out there. So I pretty much had two choices: either buying a blacktop tele, because I don't want to route out places for the humbuckers, for EMGs. So either to get a blacktop tele, which I would then relic, and then get some EMGs in there, which would put me back about 580 pounds altogether ish, plus setup obviously. And then I found this guitar, the Jim Root one, second hand, and believe me, I got it for a lot cheaper. So I decided this was the way to go, and it came with EMGs. So all I have to do is relic it and then put it back together. I spent all morning sanding by hand. I didn't want to use the DA sander because, being new at this, I really feared overdoing it. So I decided I would stick to hand sanding, thus making sure I would stop when I would be too tired. So I went in and cleaned up that bit that I didn't like around the potentiometer, where one would be turning the knob. I'm gonna have to clean this up a bit because that's the original finish around there, and it's not really nice. The guitar is still a bit dusty, and you can kind of see some scratch marks. It's not finished at all. I just wanted to show you where I am at the moment. So first I used 240 grade sandpaper, then 320, then 400, and then I moved on to 800. I think it's called emery, which is wet and dry sandpaper. So this bit here is where the player's elbow would be hitting the guitar constantly. That's the belly cutaway, the belt brushes, I believe it's called. It's still dusty, you can see the dust piling up there. This is where you would be hitting the high notes as well as this. Yeah, it's still, I mean, I like the finish, but I think I should do one more go at the wet and dry, and then I'm gonna go ahead and polish it. I'm going to use car polish. This is after the second wet and dry sanding. Doesn't really look sanded anymore, and anyway I have some car polish ready here, as well as I have some kiwi brown shoe polish, which I'm going to use first to stain the wood to see a bit more of the graininess, although it is really nice actually. But there are these dents that I've done yesterday night that would look pretty nice if they were a little bit darker, as in they have gathered a bit of dirt during the years. So I'm probably gonna stain those a little before going any further, and then sand it down a little bit again with the wet and dry. Actually, have a look at. Can you see those transitions? How beautiful they are. I think that's pretty nice. Anyway, so I'm pretty glad with the results. It looks badass. Looks like it's been to hell and back. So now comes the wood staining, bit more wet and dry sanding, and then car polish. Here we are after polishing the top. It's got nice and shiny, as well as I managed to get shoe polish in there in this crack, so it looks really old now. But compared the polished side to the unpolished, you can really see the difference. But I have to say, this is quite a lot of work. I think it looks gorgeous. I'm done with the polishing. You might see some remains there. That's just the polishing liquid. I mean, the surface is completely flat now all around. I had to go back quite a few times to make it this nice and glossy, but it was worth it. Again, this is just a polishing liquid that you can see here, but it's completely flat. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I really love these details around here. It looks almost like sunburst finish with all those transitions. Yeah, anyway, the body's finished. It's all done. This liquid's gonna wear off with time, or actually I'm just gonna rub it off with a clean cloth at home. Now that the body is finished, I'm gonna start working on the neck, and I'm going to go back to the marks that I've done earlier, and I'm going to use this Dremel with not that bad, but a nice little polishing one, probably one of these that looks pretty good. And I'm hoping, yes, I should be able to change the speed on this one. So I'm gonna run it on the slowest speed and sort of break up the coat on there. I set the speed to the lowest possible one, so now it's really slow. Also, I'm gonna use car polish fluid as the polish compound. So sticking to the little marks that I've made earlier. I'm just gonna slowly go back and forth. Like that. I'm done with the dremeling. You can see some of the marks that I've done around there. Some of them look kind of burned. I guess that's because of the tool has eaten up a little bit of the I don't know what this thing is called, the fret itself, and laid it on the wood. So now I'm gonna go ahead with the polish and clean it up so there's no burn marks in there. It's just, see, I don't want it to be that obvious as it is now. I want it to be a lot more subtle. So I'm gonna clean it up now, and then I'm going to apply some of the Kiwi shoe polish. I'm at home. Finished. I'm done with the body itself. You can probably see it has a really nice gloss finish after lots and lots and lots of polishing. So yeah, and I really like how the wood looks. It just such a warm tone. So I don't know if the camera will be able to focus on that, but I managed to get some shoe polish in that chip, but don't worry, I'll make some nice high quality photographs, and I'm going to upload them at the end of the last video. I'll just make a last video with good photographs anyway. I really like these fades between the wood and this very thin layer of the actual coating, which made it almost purplish around there. Added a few little dings around here, the belt rash, make it look as it's actually being used. That's the cutaway. Yep, there you go, so the body's done. And this is where I am at with the neck at the moment. I've done I'm not exactly sure what this is called, maybe fretting, when I made these little marks here where I would be playing the fretboard most often. I haven't done it very, very hard. And this is where the strings would pretty much like knock off bits of the end of the neck. Yeah, I managed to get some dirt looking shoe polish on both sides of the metal bits, pretty much everywhere. There's one thing I'm a little bit worried about. I managed to dremel into the inlay a little bit there, which you will most likely not be able to see on this record recording, but it just feels like there's, you can probably hear my nail on there. So yeah, it feels like I would probably feel that when I'm playing, unlike these ones, which, well, I can feel them, but they're really minute. So this one, I think I'm gonna take it back to university, and you can see it now. You can see a little shadow in there. I'm gonna take it back to university and put some epoxy resin in there, and I'll just send it back nicely. So I'll fill it up. Don't worry about that. This is, yeah, I ended up taking off the keys at the end. This is the headstock. I managed to keep the Telecaster, the Fender Telecaster logo on there, because obviously I'm pretty proud it is a Fender. I made the whole thing look a bit darker thanks to shoe polish. At the end of this video, I think I'm going to, at the end of the last video, I will probably put the two guitars next to each other, so you'll be able to see what the original tone of a brand new guitar looks like and what this looks like. So yeah, a few things and chips here and there. I don't think I'm gonna put the cigarette burn there. I mean, it's just so cliche. Yeah, so that's the headstock right there for you. So all this needs now is filling up there and a bit of polishing down. Yeah, so all I've been using was the Dremel shoe polish, car polish. For these chips and things, I was using a flat, very fine. I think they're called jewelers fines. Sorry, I'm pretty tired. It's been a rough day. A hard day of work. And the keys, which I did take off, I used some 800 wet and dry sandpaper. It's not sandpaper, it's emery, I think, to sand off a little bit of the edges where it would naturally wear down.